Right, listen up. First impressions. Crucial, yeah? They can make or break opportunities, set the tone for relationships, and even determine how we see ourselves. Like that job interview where you wore that shirt, you know the one. People are judgmental. It's in our nature. We can't help but form opinions based on the smallest details.
We're hardwired to make snap decisions, to judge a book by its cover, even if we know there's more to the story. We size each other up in seconds, often without even realizing it. It's an instinctual response, a survival mechanism. It's all about survival, innit? Our ancestors relied on these quick judgments to stay alive.
Back in the caveman days, you had to tell quickly if the bloke with the club was gonna offer you lunch or become lunch. It was a matter of life and death. So, what do? We play the game. We adapt, we strategize, we put on a show.
We put our best foot forward, dress to impress, and try to present the best version of ourselves. We flash our pearly whites, or not, depends on your dentist. We smile, even when we don't feel like it. We try to look interested, even when the other person is boring us to death. We nod, we laugh at jokes that aren't funny. It's a performance, a carefully crafted facade. We become actors in our own lives, playing roles to fit in, to be liked, to succeed.
But here's the kicker. Despite all our efforts, we can't control everything. It's all a bit pathetic, really. This desperate attempt to control how others perceive us, to fit into molds that were never meant for us. This desperate attempt to control how others perceive us. We stress over every detail, every word, every gesture, like we're all just products on a shelf, vying for attention, competing for approval, for validation.
What happened to just being ourselves? Oh right, that's terrifying. The fear of rejection, of not being good enough, looms large. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are we so afraid of? Why do we feel the need to hide behind masks, to put on a show? Maybe it's time to take a step back, to breathe, to embrace our true selves, to realize that authenticity, though scary, is liberating. Because at the end of the day, the most genuine connections are made when we let our guard down, when we show our true colors. So let's dance this deceptive dance a little less and live a little more authentically. After all, life's too short for anything else.
Ever notice how couples start to look alike after a while? No, not talking about those creepy dog owners. Talking about humans. It's weird, right? It's like they've been sharing a face-swapping app.
Well, turns out it's not magic. It's this thing called mirroring. It's basic psychology, in it. We subconsciously mimic the people we fancy. Subtle movements, tone of voice, even breathing patterns.
It's like we're trying to blend in, become one with the object of our affection. A bit creepy when you think about it, but hey, it works. The more alike we seem, the more familiar and comfortable the other person feels, like looking in a warped mirror.
Makes you wonder, though, if all it takes is a bit of copycatting, are we really attracted to the person or just a reflected version of ourselves? Maybe love really is blind, or at least a bit short-sighted. Remember that time you queued for hours for that new phone? The anticipation was palpable. The excitement in the air was almost electric. You could feel the collective eagerness of everyone around you, all waiting for that moment when the doors would open and you could finally get your hands on the latest tech marvel. But then, when you finally got it, the excitement fizzled out. The phone that everyone said was just meh. Yeah, me too. It's funny how something can seem so essential one moment and so underwhelming the next. Turns out we're suckers for things that are in short supply. It's basic economics, really. Scarcity drives demand. When something is rare, it becomes more desirable. We want it more because we can't easily have it. The rarer something is, the more valuable it becomes. This principle applies to everything from precious gems to limited edition sneakers. The allure of rarity is a powerful force, and that goes for people too. The ones who stand out, who are a bit elusive, they capture our attention and intrigue us more than those who are always around.
Think about it. In social settings, who do you find more intriguing? The person who's always available, always there, or the one who plays hard to get, who keeps you guessing? Exactly. We're programmed to chase, to crave what we can't have. It's a psychological game, a dance of desire and denial. The thrill of the chase, the allure of the unattainable, it's hardwired into us. We stretch our hands towards what's just out of reach, driven by the hope that we might finally grasp it. It's like that saying, familiarity breeds contempt. When something or someone is always there, always accessible, we start to take it for granted. The excitement fades and we begin to look elsewhere for that spark. Or maybe its absence makes the heart grow fonder. When we're apart from something or someone we care about, our appreciation for them grows. The distance creates a longing, a desire that strengthens our feelings. Either way, a little distance can go a long way. It can make us value what we have, make us realize its worth.
Of course, there's a fine line between playing it cool and being a complete arse. It's one thing to be a bit mysterious, to keep people guessing, but it's another to be dismissive or aloof. Nobody likes a tease, especially if they've got other options. If you push people away too much, they might just decide they're better off without you. And let's be honest, most of us do. In today's world, there are plenty of options, plenty of people and things vying for our attention. So play the scarcity game carefully, yeah? It's a balancing act. You want to be desirable but not unattainable, intriguing but not frustratingly elusive. You don't want to end up all alone with your limited edition loneliness. Because at the end of the day, what we truly crave is connection, and that's something worth being available for.
Let's be honest, looks matter. We live in a world where first impressions are often based on appearances. We're hardwired to be drawn to beauty, like moths to a flame or flies to, well, you get the picture. This attraction is almost instinctual, deeply rooted in our biology. And it's not just about physical attractiveness, though that helps. It's about the way someone carries themselves, their charisma, and the energy they exude. It's about the whole package, a winning smile, a confident swagger, a killer outfit. These elements combine to create an aura that draws people in.
These things create a halo effect, making us perceive attractive people as more intelligent, trustworthy, and all-around fantastic. This cognitive bias can influence our decisions in ways we might not even realize. It's completely illogical, of course. Our brains are tricked into making these associations without any real evidence to back them up. Like, just because someone's got a symmetrical face doesn't mean they can balance a checkbook. Symmetry might be pleasing to the eye, but it doesn't equate to practical skills or intelligence.
But that's the power of the halo effect. It can make us overlook flaws and inflate someone's positive traits. It blinds us to reason, makes us see what we want to see. We become enamored with the idea of perfection, even if it's just an illusion.
But here's the thing. Beauty fades. Over time, the physical attributes we once admired begin to change. Wrinkles appear, waistlines expand, hair migrates south. These are natural parts of aging that no one can escape. And then what? Turns out personality goes a long way. The connections we build and the kindness we show become far more important. So maybe it's time we ditch the superficiality and start looking a little deeper. True beauty lies in the way we treat others and the depth of our character. Unless, of course, you're planning on being ridiculously good-looking forever. But even then, inner beauty will always shine through. In that case, carry on. Just remember, the most lasting impressions are made by the heart, not the eyes.